Do you ever look around and think, wow, the world is a crazy place, and it just seems to get crazier and crazier? Ease your mind and take a break. This is Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We're a hub for inspirational Christian sermons, practical keys for Christian living, and Christian discussions and interviews. You'll be inspired to live the life that you were created for. Your host is a top-ranking podcaster, best-selling author, world record holder, aerospace engineer, life coach, evangelist, and founder of John Giftah International. Welcome to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah.
As we're continuing the series on the aspect of discovering our God-given gifts and talents, I want to talk to you today about an important thing that some of you may be still feeling. Like you're saying, John, I went through all these different episodes in the series, but I'm still clueless about what is my real gift. I think maybe I'm not gifted. No, time and time again, I've been reminding you from the scripture, Romans 12 verse 6, that every one of us are gifted to do certain things well. That is by God's grace. The Bible also says in the parable of talents how God called all of them and gave them talents. The master calls all his servants and gives them talents, and that's a symbol of how God has given every single one of us talents. Now, how are you going to discover it? If you're still not found, there's one more thing I want to share. Now, one of the important things is that, if you're still clueless, just think about what are the things that interest you and try different things. There's nothing wrong in trying different things. You can try something and fail. That's okay. At least you will know that that's not your area of gifting. And you can try something, and if it ends up working well for you, then you found your gift. Right? So instead of not trying, instead of just saying, I don't know, I think I'm not gifted, and just settle for mediocrity, why don't you take some time out and try different things? I still remember what Joyce Meyer said this once when she was in a series or a season of transition. She didn't know what to do, and she was trying different things. She put her hands into gardening, and she realized that was not a cup of tea. Then she tried tailoring and realized that was not a cup of tea, and so she was trying different things in different seasons. See, if you do not have a specific clarity, you can always try different things. I always love what Bishop D.D. Jakes has also mentioned about in one of the sermons. He said that he never went into anything on his own, like he stumbled into it. He uses the word he stumbled into it, like he tried something, didn't work out. Using that, he tried something else, it didn't work out, and he kind of stumbled into different things that God had for him. So if you want to know what is your God-given gift and talent, what is the thing that God has created you for, why don't you just give it a shot? Try something. If something inspires you, you can do something within your capability. It's nothing wrong in trying. I would always appreciate someone who tries and fails, then just sit back and be like, oh no, I do not know, and just does nothing. Right? So certain things you don't know unless you try. For example, if you were to ask me, this is what actually used to happen. Like prior to the pandemic, I used to release podcasts on WhatsApp, and I used to record videos in the studio and release a YouTube video every single week. And after the pandemic, it was like I didn't know what to do, because the studio, everything was locked because of the lockdown and all of that. And so I had to start trying things on my own. And when I did that, instead of trying out a video a week, I started making more videos. Nowadays, almost every other day, there's a video on my YouTube channel. Sometimes it's like become like a daily YouTube channel also. But here's the thing, I tried different things. I tried some instrumental videos. They didn't fare that great. I tried shorts or reels kind of videos. They were not that great as well, but there times, that's when I started out the online podcast, migrated from WhatsApp to the online platforms, and started growing effectively. And I started trying out interviews, because I used to watch a lot of those interview shows, like the Breakfast Club and all of that, and I just wanted to give it a shot, and I had that interest towards it. I just started trying it out, and a lot of times, almost every guest, when I send them the questions, they revert to me saying, "Wow, John, these questions are perfect. These questions are so good," and always a compliment. And even the people who listen or watch always come back and say, the sessions were so good. The way things were programmed and everything was so good. Now, I never knew that I had the gift of interviewing people, or the gift of going with the flow, and in terms of doing with somebody else as a guest and all of that. I never tried all this before. For me, prior to the pandemic, all I knew was go to the studio, preach a sermon, come back. That's it. But I tried different things. I tried making thumbnails. I tried making design posters, and so many different things I started, and which I never knew that I could do. I started doing. All right. So what I'm saying is, unless you try different things, you never know what you're good at. If I hadn't tried, I wouldn't have known that I'm good in interviewing people. And if I hadn't tried, I would have never known that I'm not good in certain kind of videos, and those kind of types of content is not for me. If I didn't try, I would just keep thinking, what if I tried and it worked? What if I tried and, all those kind of questions would be nagging me the rest of my life. But now I can have a clear conscience. Whatever with my ability, I tried what I could. Those things worked. Even my skits videos, sometimes I make skits videos, and in the last couple of days I've recorded a couple of small shorts kind of skits, and I didn't see these coming. I didn't expect them, but the kind of response that I get, and as well as the ideas that God has been giving me in these things, has been like, wow, I never thought that coming. So unless you give it a shot and try something, you won't know you're good at it. So be open about it. If you do not know what to do, try different things. Whatever interests you, whatever is within your reach, there's nothing wrong in trying. Like, even when I started the other podcast, right, I think that I also have another podcast called the Inspiration Hub podcast, where I post an inspirational or motivational or personal development kind of episode every week. Right now I made it once a week. Every Tuesday morning I release one episode. So when I tried, I was thinking about this for a long time, maybe almost a year, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm not sure if I should do and all of that. And then I just gave it a shot. See, I have a clear conscience here that, okay, I didn't rush on it. I waited upon it. I took my time through it. At the same time, I took a step towards it. Now I know, okay, it's been going on for, I think, almost like 3 or 4 months now. When I started, I was not even sure whether I can continue, whether I'll have enough content, because see, I'm a preacher, right? I am an inspirational or motivational speaker on certain grounds. I don't know how far I can speak like that, right? I don't know how much of content I can have in that sphere. So what I did, I just tried, and even now it's so far it's been going. And at some point I realized that it's not going to work out anymore. I may stop, but at least I will know that, okay, fine, I was able to have content for, right now it's once a week, but in the initial stages I was releasing once in 2 or 3 days. So I have like many episodes in that podcast also, right? I didn't know I had so much of content available. I got to know only because I tried. If that's one thing I want to tell you guys, is try it out. Try different things. I know you may say, John, you didn't share many scriptures in this episode, but this is a very practical tool I wanted to share, right? That you can always try different things out. And when you do that, you will know for sure, okay, this is something I can hit upon, this is something that works for me, and this is something that I realize, okay, it's going to be a disaster. Right? So you can have that clarity when you try, right? So I hope this was a blessed session with you guys, for you guys, and we'll continue in the next episode as well. So God bless you.
You've been listening to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We hope you were blessed and inspired to live the life that God has for you. Make sure to subscribe to the John Giftah YouTube channel for regular uploads of sermons, skits, interviews, and more. Follow John Giftah on Instagram for regular inspirational posts. And don't forget to check out the best-selling books written by John Giftah, Who Am I?, which will help you understand your identity, and the latest #1 bestseller, Unveil Your Purpose, helping you discover your purpose and to start walking in it. Make sure to leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends and loved ones. If you'd like to donate, you can find the PayPal link in the description. And if you'd like to invite John Giftah to speak at your event or to get more details, go to the website at www.johngiftah.com. See you on the next episode of The Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. God bless you.
If your heart stops beating now, do you know where you're going? If you came face to face with death now, do you know where you're going? And this is not a message of condemnation. This is a message of hope. There is a God who loves you so much. He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, to come down and pay a heavy price by shedding every drop of His blood on the cross. Thank you for dying for my sins. When you believe in Him, you have free gift of salvation for you that assures us that we will go to heaven when we die instead of suffering in hell forever. I just encourage you today to make the simple step of faith and say, Jesus, I thank you for what you did on the cross. Thank you for giving me this gift of eternal life.